welcome to On the Spot with me, Shutapa Paul. Today we have with us Congress MP Jairam Ramesh. He's written his latest book, Old History, New Geography, Bifurcating Andhra Pradesh. So we're going to ask sir a little bit about the book. What prompted you to write the book, sir?
Well, February 2014, India's 29th state, Telangana, got created. There's a long history to it.
Sure.
There's a political background to it. And there are social and economic factors that went into the decision. I got involved in the process through the group of ministers on the 8th of October 2013. So this book really is an account of what the group of ministers did. It doesn't get into the why of bifurcation.
Right.
It gets into the how of the bifurcation. It doesn't get into the merits. It gets into the mechanics of it. Although, I look at a long history, going back to the early 50s. I look at the political factors, the social factors, but the focus of the book is how the bifurcation happened.
Right.
Because, it proved to be hugely contentious, very controversial. Passions are still, very high, both in Telangana as well as in Andhra.
Right.
And the Congress party got decimated in both the states.
Right.
So there's a lot of interest in it.
Right. So that's what I mean. During the time that this was going on, you were called the architect of the bifurcation.
I was called Mountbatten and I was called Radcliffe.
That's right. So,
so
is this a sort of an explanation?
Yeah,
of all that happened?
yeah. It could say it's a catharsis, but it's also an explanation, of why we did what we did in the group of ministers.
Sure.
What are the provisions of the act, which not only we had two objectives.
Sure.
We had not only to create Telangana, but we also had to protect the interests of Andhra.
Sure.
Telangana was an upper riparian state. Andhra was a downstream riparian state. Water resources,
Right.
Krishna, Godavari, very important, very emotive, very politically, very, very volatile.
Right.
So yeah, it's an explanation of sorts of why these things happened. Not why the bifurcation happened, but certainly how the bifurcation took place.
How has the book been received?
Well, it's only a week since the book came out.
Right.
See, people who are against the bifurcation still hold me to be the Mountbatten or the Radcliffe.
Right.
So they are not going to be persuaded by this.
Right.
However, there's an academic value, there's a scholarship value, particularly the history, which goes back to the States Reorganization Commission, goes back to the early 50s, the debates that took place with Nehru, Ambedkar, Patel, Rajaji, Prakasam, all these great founding fathers.
Quite a historical account.
Yeah, it's a historical account. I mean, see, I place it in its historical context. There's also a political subtext, which is more immediate.
Right.
The fact that all political parties agreed to the bifurcation.
Right.
So it's it was fun writing the book.
So in the book you've mentioned that this was the most agonizing decision for the Congress.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was pushed because of electoral gains.
See, the Congress was vertically divided.
Right.
The BJP wanted the bifurcation. The TDP gave a letter in favor of bifurcation. All political parties except CPM. CPM was dead against the bifurcation. The Congress party was vertically divided. You had about 45% of the party wanting the bifurcation and about 55% not wanting the bifurcation, reflecting the relative strengths of the coastal districts.
Party feathers, but that's not new.
No, but the chief minister was against the bifurcation, you see. Although the Congress decided on the bifurcation in July of 2013, and the Union Cabinet, took the decision to ratify in October, the chief minister of our own chief minister, Congress chief minister, was actively defying the Congress High Command and the Prime Minister, and he made life virtually impossible for us.
So which incident do you think was like the clincher or something which finally pushed it towards the...
Well, the 9th of December 2009 statement of the Home Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, which was issued at 11:30 at night, is generally seen to be at the turning point, because it was, the KCR was on a fast for 10 days.
Correct.
I've called that chapter the 10 days that shook Andhra. He was fasting. By the way, he was fasting in an air-conditioned room in the Nizam Institute of Medical
So
Sciences.
much better than this interview which is being
so,
done in the heat.
you know, he had an air-conditioned room. He was in the Nizam Institute of Medical Sciences.
Sure.
He was fasting. The Home Minister, I think they must have got some intelligence that, you know, the situation was very, very volatile. The Maoists may have penetrated the Telangana movement. I don't know. I mean, you know, this only the Home Minister can say. And the statement was issued, which seemed to indicate that the government had decided that Telangana would be formed. And that was actually the turning point was the death of YSR, you know, in September 2009. And YSR's death gave KCR life. In other words, KCR was a completely politically discredited and irrelevant figure. But with the death of YSR, I think that's the single most important defining moment.
The watershed
moment,
so to speak. So Congress did it for electoral gains, but unfortunately, unlike the BJP, which has, you know, when BJP has created states, they have still maintained.
Yeah, they maintained a presence. See, we got only 2% of the vote in Andhra.
Why do you think this has happened?
We got 2% of the vote in Andhra, and we got 26% of the vote in Telangana. So in Telangana, at least we had some presence, but in Andhra, we were completely wiped out. And as they say, na yahan ke rahe, na wahan ke rahe. You know. I think the anger against the manner of bifurcation, people thought that we had pushed through the bifurcation in a cynical manner, and we were not able to explain to the people. There was no political communication from the top leadership as to why we were bifurcating, and more importantly, why we were bifurcating at the time we were bifurcating. And also, I think the decision to not to make Hyderabad the union territory was not accepted by Andhra. Had we made Hyderabad a union territory for 10 years, maybe the controversy may not have been all this much.
So the Congress party, a lot has been spoken about. Even within your party, people have said that communication hasn't been the strongest.
Zero. I mean, we are very bad. We are in, as Pratap Bhanu Mehta wrote in the Indian Express, we are in the Stone Ages as far as communication is concerned. You know, we are not communicating, we are not speaking to people, we are not explaining, we are not doing troubleshooting,
And
we are not doing conflict management. You know, that very sad. That remains a big weakness for a mighty organization, you know, 131-year-old organization.
And this is
during Nehru's time. During Nehru's time, you know, this used to be done. Nehru was the master communicator, you know, along with Gandhi. But we have lost that.
But so this is the moment of crisis for the party.
Well, so we are. We are facing an unprecedented crisis, no doubt about it. You know, we are facing a crisis at the center. We are facing a crisis in the states. Our resilience is being tested. People are leaving us. So yeah, I mean, this is the moment of adversity when our collective strength is going to be sorely tested. Our resilience is going to be sorely tested. So let's see. I mean,
who brings you out of this?
No magic wand. No one individual. No magic wand.
But you're quite a believer in Mr. Rahul
collective strength, collective endeavor, collective effort. It cannot be one. There is no magic wand. There is no one individual.
Right. So, is the communication now, has that improved within the party in the last?
Slowly. Yeah, actually that's an important point. There's communication within the party and there's communication outside the party. In fact, both have been singularly lacking and conspicuous by their absence. So we have to address both these issues.
And are you hopeful of seeing Mr. Gandhi's elevation?
I hope so. Sooner rather than later. I've said so in the past, but I've been proved wrong. So I hope it happens in the next couple of weeks.